Jack was tired. Every day felt like a battle against the clock, a race he could never win. The weight of his responsibilities bore down on him, making each step feel heavier than the last. The city was like a hungry monster, always wanting more. It devoured his time, his energy, and his spirit. The relentless pace left him feeling drained, a mere shadow of his former self. More time, more energy, more of him. The demands were endless, and the rewards felt increasingly hollow. He was giving everything, but receiving nothing in return. At 30 he felt stuck, trapped in a cycle of monotony where each day blurred into the next. The dreams he once had seemed distant, almost forgotten. His fancy office felt like a jail cell. The view from his window, once a symbol of success, now felt like a reminder of his confinement. The skyscrapers loomed like prison walls. The never-ending traffic noise was a constant headache. The blaring horns and screeching tires were the soundtrack to his life, a cacophony that never ceased. One day, Jack decided he'd had enough. He wanted something different, something more. The thought of continuing on this path was unbearable. He needed a change, a fresh start. He wanted peace, quiet, the chance to breathe again. The idea of a simpler life, away from the chaos, became his beacon of hope. He longed for tranquility, a place where he could find himself again. He dreamed of the open sky, the sound of waves, the feel of sand between his toes. These simple pleasures, once taken for granted, now seemed like the ultimate luxury. He wanted to build something with his own hands, something real, something that would last. The idea of creating something tangible, something he could be proud of, filled him with a sense of purpose. He sold his apartment, packed a bag, and bought a one-way ticket to Mexico. It was a bold move, but he knew it was the right one. The excitement of the unknown outweighed the fear. He had no plan, no map, no travel book, just a burning desire to start anew. The uncertainty was daunting, but also exhilarating. He was ready to embrace whatever came his way. He only had a destination, a faraway beach he'd seen once in a magazine. The image of that pristine shore had stayed with him, a symbol of the freedom he craved. A beach with white sand, turquoise water, and a jungle that touched the sea. It was a paradise, untouched by the chaos of the city, a place where he could finally find peace. He was going to build a bungalow, a simple, sturdy home where he could live life on his own terms. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope and endless possibilities. The beach was even better than he'd imagined. The white sand stretched endlessly, meeting the turquoise water in a perfect blend of colors. The lush green vegetation framed the scene, making it look like a postcard come to life. The air was warm and smelled of salt and coconuts. It was a scent that instantly transported him to a place of relaxation and peace. The gentle ocean breeze rustled the palm trees, creating a soothing symphony of nature. The waves crashed against the shore like a beautiful song. Each wave seemed to tell a story, a tale of the ocean's endless journey. The rhythmic sound was both calming and invigorating, a perfect backdrop to his new life. The jungle hummed with the sounds of insects and birds. It was a vibrant, living symphony that added to the magic of the place. The calls of exotic birds and the hum of insects created a soundtrack that was both wild and enchanting. Jack felt a sense of calm wash over him. The stress and noise of the city seemed like a distant memory. Here he could breathe, think, and simply be. The beach was his sanctuary, a place where he could find peace and clarity. This was it. This was home. This was where he belonged. The feeling of belonging was overwhelming, as if the beach had been waiting for him all along. Every grain of sand, every rustle of the leaves seemed to welcome him. He spent the first few days exploring. Each day brought new discoveries, from hidden coves to vibrant coral reefs. The beach was a treasure trove of wonders, and Jack was eager to uncover them all. He swam in the warm water, laid in the sun on the soft sand, and slept under the stars. The nights were particularly magical, with the sky ablaze with countless stars. It was a sight that filled him with awe and wonder. He talked to the locals, learned some Spanish, and tried the local food. The community was welcoming and he quickly made friends. The local cuisine was a delightful adventure for his taste buds, full of flavors he'd never experienced before. He traded his city clothes for work clothes and got some tools and supplies. It was a transformation that felt right. The tools were simple, but they were all he needed to start building his dream. He found the perfect spot for his bungalow. It was a serene location with a breathtaking view of the ocean. The spot seemed to call out to him, promising peace and tranquility. A small open area between palm trees looking out at the ocean. It was an idyllic setting, perfect for his new home. The palm trees provided shade, and the view was nothing short of spectacular. The jungle provided everything he needed: palm leaves for the roof, bamboo for the walls, driftwood for the supports. It was as if nature itself was helping him build his dream home. It was time to start building. With determination and a sense of purpose, Jack began the construction of his bungalow. Each piece of wood, each palm leaf, was a step closer to his new life. The journey had just begun. The days were long and hot, but Jack didn't mind. He had always dreamed of having a place by the sea, a sanctuary where he could escape the hustle and bustle of city life. The beach was his canvas, and he was the artist, shaping his vision with every stroke of effort. He worked hard, his hands getting rough, his skin turning brown from the sun. Each day brought new challenges, but also new rewards. The calluses on his hands were a testament to his dedication, and the deep tan on his skin was a badge of honor. He learned as he went, using his instincts and figuring things out. There was no manual, no guidebook, just his intuition and a few borrowed tools. He made mistakes, but each one was a lesson, a step closer to his dream. He chopped, sawed, hammered, and built. The rhythm of his work was like a dance, each movement purposeful and precise. The sound of his tools became a symphony, blending with the natural music of the waves crashing nearby. Slowly the bungalow started to take shape. It was more than just a structure. It was a manifestation of his dreams and hard work. Each beam and nail was a piece of his soul, embedded in the framework. It was simple, open to the air, but strong and sturdy. The design was minimalistic, yet it had everything he needed. The open walls allowed the sea breeze to flow through, keeping the space cool and refreshing. A roof over his head, a place to call his own. It was a humble abode, but it was his sanctuary. The roof provided shelter from the elements, and the walls, though sparse, offered a sense of security. He woke up with the sun every morning, the sound of the waves, his alarm clock. The first light of dawn would gently rouse him from sleep, and he would step outside to greet the new day with a sense of gratitude. He loved the early mornings. The beach was empty, the air was cool, and the world was painted in pink and orange. It was a magical time, a moment of peace before the world woke up and the day began. He would sit on the sand, close his eyes, and breathe. The tranquility of the morning allowed him to center himself, to find balance and clarity. It was his time to reflect, to plan, and to dream. The rhythm of the ocean, the warmth of the sun, the feel of the sand on his fingers. These simple sensations grounded him, reminding him of the beauty of the present moment. He was present, grounded, alive. Each day on the beach was a gift, a chance to live fully and authentically. Jack had found his paradise, a place where he could be himself, free from the constraints of the world. Meditating became his morning routine, a time to quiet his thoughts, to connect with himself, to appreciate the simple beauty around him. No more deadlines, no more meetings, no more pressure, just him, the ocean, and the soft sound of the wind. After meditating, he would eat fresh fruit he found growing nearby. Mangoes, papayas, bananas, nature's gifts. He cooked over an open fire, the smoke rising to the sky. Then, with a clear mind and a full stomach, he would go back to work on the bungalow. Every day brought new challenges, new problems to solve. He learned to adapt, to be creative, to use what he had. He wasn't the stressed-out businessman anymore, lost in the city. He was a builder, a creator, a survivor. The bungalow grew bigger every day. Walls went up, windows were made, and a door was put in place. He collected treasures from the beach: seashells, driftwood, pieces of colorful glass smoothed by the waves. He used these to decorate his new home, adding personal touches. He built a simple outdoor shower, the cool water a nice break from the hot sun. He learned to fish with a spear he made himself, adding to his diet with food from the ocean. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The bungalow was almost finished. He had put his heart and soul into it, and it showed. It was more than just a place to live. It showed how strong he was, how determined he was, how he could adapt and overcome challenges. When the sun was at its highest, he would take a break from the heat. He would swim in the ocean, the cool water washing away the sweat and dirt. He would lie on the beach, watching the clouds, listening to the waves. Sometimes he would go into the jungle, exploring hidden trails, finding waterfalls and secret lagoons. He felt closer to nature than ever before. He had a new respect for the natural world, for its power, its beauty, its ability to give life, and to take it away. He wasn't just a visitor anymore, he was a part of it all. As the sun started to set, making long shadows on the beach, he would go back to his bungalow. He would cook a simple dinner over the fire, the flames dancing in the growing darkness. Fish, fruit, rice, beans, simple food that tasted like freedom. He would eat his dinner sitting on the sand, watching the sky turn into a beautiful mix of colors. Orange, pink, purple, red, an amazing sight that always surprised him. As it got completely dark, he would go inside his bungalow. He had hung a hammock, swaying gently between two strong posts. He would light a candle, making flickering shadows on the walls, and read a book. He had brought a few books with him, classic stories that had lasted through time. Adventures, philosophies, stories about the human spirit. In the quiet of the night, with the sounds of the ocean around him, these stories took on a new meaning. He read about courage, about resilience, about the importance of following your own path. He realized he had found what he was looking for: peace. Not the absence of problems, but the ability to stay calm even when there are problems. He wasn't afraid of silence anymore. He wanted it. It gave him time to think, to reflect, to just be. As he lay in his hammock listening to the waves, he felt a deep sense of happiness. He had taken a chance, left his comfort zone, and built a new life for himself. It wasn't always easy, but it was real. It was his. He had traded his suit for shorts, his computer for a machete, his stress for peace. He had found happiness in the simple things: the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the ocean, the taste of fresh fruit, the sound of the wind in the trees. He was home.